Ron Kamonohashi episode 5 is Mamiya telling Ishiki he will be doing a joint case with Kawasimi. Kawasimi is a great detective. Ishiki is happy to be working with him. Mamiya tells Ishiki she only has them working together so Kawasimi doesn't win. She doesn't want to give her good men to him. Both Kawasimi and Mamiya want the same job. When we meet Kawasimi, he is using tweezers to fix his hair, fix glasses, fix ties, fix fingernails. He needs perfection. He reminds me of Ron, someone who is super intelligent, though is a lot. Mamiya and Kawasimi used to work at a small local station together. Kawasimi goes up to Ishiki and tells him he should not be a detective. He sucks. So yeah, Kawasimi and Ron are very similar. Maybe he went to Blue. Mamiya and Kawasimi go at it briefly. Kawasimi's assistant appears, and this has to be parallel to Ron and Ishiki, Sherlock Holmes and Watson. There's this great detective who has no social skills, yet is super smart, with the assistant who's there to keep him in check. Kawasimi ignores Ishiki completely. He doesn't want to work together. The crime is at an art museum. Someone died. Our characters need to figure out why and who. They already know when, where, and they do not know what, but they can guess the murder weapon is a knife. OMG, yes! Happy Halloween! Ron is here. Him and Kawasimi interacting will be lovely. Ron introduces himself as a puppet master. He even has a business card. Kawasimi tells him to leave. He doesn't want a wannabe civilian here. Ron tells him not to worry. Kawasimi inspects Ron and he is perfect. Nothing about his costume is wrong. Ron may accompany him. Ishiki is still left out. Ron gets mad because he is the #1 detective. He's not going to let Kawasimi win. Ron asks the assistant for the case details. The culprit is someone who stabs victims and then cuts off their hands. They are called the hand collector. The assistant and Kawasimi thought this man who just died was the hand collector, but now after his death, they are not so sure. They did try to confront this man who just died last night, and that didn't work out because this man ran away. He is now dead, so they have no idea anymore who the suspect could be. Ron inspects the body and then freaks out he cannot get the puppets off his hand. Ishiki helps with the puppets and knocks into the assistant. This is all a setup by Ron. Ron speaks as if he were Ishiki and says Kawasimi and the assistant are lying. Kawasimi never tried to catch the culprit, like Ron and Ishiki were told. Kawasimi says that is correct. He lied to protect his assistant. His assistant let the culprit get away last night and was a mess. The assistant confronted this man last night and Kawasimi was off in the distance. He was not there with them. Ron is happy to learn all of this. Ron does his cool hair flip, which means he knows something very important. Maybe the assistant is behind it all. Ron calls Spitz. Spitz tells Ishiki he is at the recent murderer's apartment. Spitz tells Ishiki that Kawasami was correct and he thought this man was the hand collector. In his apartment, Spitz found the missing hands from the past victims. The question now is why did someone kill him like he killed the victims? Ron and Ishiki go to the bathroom. Ron tells Kawasimi when they return, Ishiki will solve this case. Ron in the bathroom tells Ishiki everything he knows and what he suspects of this case. Bathroom break is over. Ishiki tells Kawasimi and the assistant that this man who just died in the truck is in fact the hand collector like these two thought. Last night, when they tried to figure this out, the hand collector knew he got caught and killed himself. Kawasimi told them he lied and was not with his assistant. This means the assistant and the hand collector were alone. They knew the hand collector killed himself because of the blood spattered on his clothes. For his hands missing, that is a copycat killer. This is where the assistant comes in. The assistant, who was all alone with the hand collector. The assistant cut off his hands because the assistant lost his handcuffs. Instead of saying and admitting he lost his handcuffs, which is very important for detectives and police officers to have, he made up a story of chasing after the hand collector and him getting away. The story was the assistant chasing the culprit. He caught up to this culprit, handcuffed him, but this man got away, still handcuffed together. The next day, they find him dead without hands. This allowed the assistant to say he did not lose his handcuffs. Instead, they were stolen by the hand collector. Wow, all of this over someone losing handcuffs? That's so extreme. The assistant tells Kawasimi it is true. He gets arrested. The ending is Kawasimi watching Ron and Ishiki tease each other. Again, in this episode, the characters have not said Ron didn't try to kill anyone. That was a big character detail for Ron. Like every single episode until last episode, they really made it a big deal that Ron has this flaw. That's why he's not a detective anymore. It's why he was expelled from Blue. That when he solves cases, he kills those behind those cases. He kills the murderers himself. Like, why has Ishiki not noticed this nor brought it up? It was such a huge character detail for Ron. His character detail is now gone. He's like a new person, and no one has said anything. Ishiki has said nothing. Like, what? Like, how is he missing this? But I guess Ron is correct. Ishiki is not a good detective. He is very stupid. He is the guinea pig to Ron. Ron's just using Ishiki for his own good so he can become a detective as well. I mean, I do hope they do talk about it, but it's already been 2 episodes, so who knows if they actually ever will bring up the fact that Ron had character details about himself that are now no longer present in this anime, and just everyone's like ignoring it. Everyone's like, yeah, you know, like, you changed your personalities, like, yeah, no, that's cool, like, we don't need to talk about it. Like, it needs to be talked about. It was such a huge deal, and now it no longer is. Like, that can't not be talked about. Thank you for listening and watching my video. Go subscribe to my channel, it helps me grow, and give this video a thumbs up.